On a cold winter's day, two guys just sit around at their computers, talking about movies instead of, going outside and shoveling or whatever. Anyways, the Movie Thing Podcast. Welcome. I'm gonna put on some smooth jazz for you now. No, I'm kidding. Oh yeah. How's it going, Nicky G? Feels like forever. Yeah, I had to have Nick replace you, I guess 2 weeks ago. Would be.
Yeah, I had to clean all the residue off my seat.
All the residue off your seat. You're like, what? Who was sitting here before me? God damn it! By the way, I apologize for having Nick sit in your seat. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's ruined. I can't get it back.
He really likes hot Cheetos. I don't know what to tell you. He doesn't stop. It's a sickness. How's it going, man? How's it going?
Man, about as good as it can be right now, but, just chilling in this winter.
Oh, people, I try to see about a movie a week, just try to keep up with what's going on in the films, and plus then it doesn't lead up to the whole thing of, what'd you watch this week? Move top 5, and I can't talk about it because I didn't see any of the movies. But, fuck this place, the roads are fine now, but it's so goddamn cold. I don't even want to go outside at all. I'm just like, whoa. Outside? It's like 5 degrees out there. I'm just gonna stay inside. Fuck it. I don't care if I only have to be outside for like 30 seconds. No, I'm not dealing with that. And my car does not like outside either. There, Nick. It just hates it. It just does not want to start. I turn it on. It just has problems. It's not okay outside. So,
yeah, that was the same with some of our cars, just weren't starting, so I was like, God damn it.
That's what mine is. It's just like, come on, there we go. You fucker. My car's very particular. He's like, dude, no, it's cold. Go back inside. You have no reason to go anywhere. And I'm like, I know, but I have to go to work. He's like, no, we don't. We don't have to go to work at all. And then I saw the worst thing yesterday. And people who don't, my car is an old ass car. It's actually almost as old as I am.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's an old ass car. But, it runs and it does its job of getting me from point A to point B. I always hear people like, oh, I'd soup it up. And I was like, oh, fuck yourself, okay? I'm not souping up shit. Do I mention where I work by chance? But anyways, I was driving down just, Colorado. And I saw this car in front, I heard this loud noise in front of, with the car in front of me going, boom. I was like, what the fuck was that? And all of a sudden I hit the same, it was a newly formed pothole. And not one of those,
shit.
And not just like a normal pothole. This was like a fuck you pothole where it's like, kind of has a jagged edge. I hit the fucking thing too. I immediately get pissed off. I'm like, oh fuck! What the hell was that? And I was like kind of glancing behind me. But then I got paranoid as fuck because I saw the car in front of me. One of their back tires got flat because of it.
Ooh,
yeah, I
shit.
saw their back tire just sitting there, just kind of getting lower and lower. I'm just like, oh, that fucker actually had to pull off. I was surprised they knew about it. Maybe they were just off by a little bit. Like, why am I slanting like this? But I was paranoid as fuck. So I'm trying to get to work. And of course, when I get paranoid, it's like the world knows it where I'm paranoid. Like, oh shit, do I have a flat tire? Cause they make me hit every fucking light. They're just like, oh, you gotta stop at this light. It's like, oh fuck you! And then I gotta get behind the person who's going like 40 because he sees snow in the grass or whatever, so he immediately thinks the street has snow, and I was like, dude, you live in Colorado. We are used to snow. I would be more okay with snow on the streets right now than like 10-degree weather. I'm so sick of it being cold.
See, that's why I'm glad I don't have to work at the moment. Cause, that's all I see on Facebook a lot of times is how cold it is in the morning, and it's like, oh, it must suck.
Oh yeah, I gotta go to school tomorrow morning. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be so goddamn pissed off. It's just gonna be freezing I have to walk around in Denver and all that shit, just freezing my ass off. Like, what the fuck is this shit going on here? Oh. I know I live in the wrong state. I should live down south where it's just like, oh god, it's 50 degrees outside. Ugh. And this is kind of unusual. I mean, it's not unusual for us to get snow, but for it to get this fucking cold in December? Like, usually for Colorado, we don't start getting really cold till February and stuff. So December's usually are, kind of like 30 to 40 to 50 degree weather, not 10.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even last year during a Winterfest, it was fucking freezing.
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
we went down there, didn't even stay there for like 5 minutes, and started walking back to the car. It's like, fuck it.
You open the door. Holy shit! Close it. Nope, not going out. Not doing it. I don't know. I am not a fan of cold, and I understand. I know a lot of people who even like snowboarding and shit. I'm like, no. I would be the guy if I had a bunch of friends that were really into snowboarding. I'd be the guy hanging out at the lodge, just drinking hot cocoa or something, just sitting there. Yep.
Well, you better keep a seat open because that's where I'd be too.
Thank God we don't have like Dustin and Nick, all them sitting there, be like, man, I love snowboarding, all that. Let's go. And I'll be like, all right, I guess I'm sitting out at the, and I'll even dress for the part where I'm wearing like plaid and like furry boots or whatever. I don't care if I'm a guy. I'm wearing the furry boots. Trying to hit on the first German chick I found just to really get into the feel. Oh, yeah.
That's the thing too. That's the thing about growing up, cars. You do have a lot of those friends who snowboard. I remember back in elementary school, they had a field trip planned for us, and so I paid for the field trip. I mean, you didn't have to go if you didn't want to, but I still signed up, and so it was like, oh, you can snowboard, ski, and it's like.
Wait, you're in elementary school and they're asking you guys to go snowboard and ski?
Yeah, that was the thing too, is because I was like, I do not know how to do any of this shit. And all my friends were sitting there talking. I mean, even Grant, him.
Yeah.
Back in my elementary school, that's what, he was one of the kids, who knew how to do all that shit. And I was just like, fuck, I'm going to look like such a dumbass. But fortunately for me, it was canceled.
Yeah. Oh, phew. Oh god. You had like a cyanide pill already. You're like, oh god, no!
It was a bad sitcom episode, pretty much.
I've been snowboarding, and let me just say, it was a comedy. Anyone with me was probably just getting a kick out of it. I would go 5 seconds down the hill, bam, fall. I get back up. I got to the point where I actually unclipped one of my feet, because it was so hard for me to try to figure out how to stand up when I fell down. I was just like, fuck it! Unclipped one of my feet, and I was like, I could stand up now. And I could just say, it was one of those things. It was back when I was early high school. My parents decided, like, hey, we want to go to snowboarding. I was like, yeah, I never been. I never took any lessons or anything. I just kind of like, how hard could it be? You just stand on a fucking board, go straight down a hill. I was wrong. I was so wrong. And of course my parents were assholes about it too, where they, I didn't know anything about the mountains, so I went on an intermediate mountain. I rolled down that fucking thing. If it was a cartoon, I would have been the guy, in the big old ball of snow, and everyone's like trying to get out of my way, and I'm like, ah! I should have been on the hill with a bunch of guys sledding. That's where I should have been. I would have preferred going sledding than snowboarding, because I don't know, sledding's just fine for me.
Yeah, as long as you don't hit a tree or a person, it's fine.
Oh, that's another thing. When I was snowboarding, I was getting close to trees. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die. Yeah. I don't know how to stop, so I'm just gonna die. This is just gonna happen. I'm really shitty at turning, and I can't wait to read tomorrow's paper from, heaven, because the dumbass kid just goes down a hill, hits a tree, and dies.
Well, I remember that's how, Liam Neeson's wife died.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I think she was skiing though, but same thing. She was going down the hill and hit a tree. It's like, usually you see those videos where if someone hits a tree, they just spin out, like, everyone laughs, and I was like, shit. You should put a whole new perspective on that.
Oh yeah, when the branch goes like through her throat or some shit, you're like, oh fuck. That's not supposed to happen. It's just supposed to be a comedy where like the two legs go shooting out and then everyone's just like, ha ha ha. Anyways, yeah, it's been kind of a nice little lazy, especially today. And today's my lazy Sunday. My grandparents invited me over to their house to watch the football game. I'm like, well, they're gonna have free food for me, so.
It's a win for you.
Yeah, it's a win-win for me. I don't give a fuck about football. If they didn't invite me, I was gonna be like, I guess it's Pizza Roll Sunday! While watching, I don't know, I just watched, actually, perfect segue. Into what have we watched this week? I watched last night actually, No Country for Old Men. Great film until the end. I kind of like to call it No Country with No End because they just kind of forgot what the hell was going on in the movie, I guess, or something. Because they just they're like, oh, what happens if, it's really hard for me to talk about the ending without spoiling it. Have you seen this movie?
I have not heard about it. I think I have it, but I've not watched it.
I own it on Blu-ray. And like I say, you can watch the first the first 3/4 of the film and you're like, yeah, this movie's kicking ass. And it's amazing. It's like a modern Western in a lot of ways. You got, what's that creepy dude's face? I don't know. He's the fucker from the new James Bond. I'm forgetting his name.
Main guy with the Mo haircut.
Yeah, the Mo haircut. I'm trying to remember his name. Anyways, sometimes I'm spot on with names. Other times I'm just terrible with them. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. You got him. He's an excellent villain. He's one of the strongest villains I've seen because he's so just calm in the way he kills everybody. Just so straight faced. He doesn't enjoy it and he doesn't care. He just, if you inconvenience him, he's just gonna kill you. Or he almost killed a dude just for asking how his day was. How's your day, stranger? And he just looks at him. What do you mean by that? I'm just asking how your day is. Oh, really? And then he does this awesome Two-Face thing. That's even better how Two-Face does it. He flips the coin, puts it down, and says, "Call it." And then he's, "Oh, what am I calling?" He's like, "This coin is from 1954. It's traveled like 25 years just to get to this moment because the whole movie takes place in the 80s, and just to get to this one moment." And then he's just explaining this coin's journey, and he's just like, "Call it." And if he gets it right, he's just like, "Today, you keep this coin." And the guy's about to throw it in his pocket. It's like, "No, don't you throw that with the other coins. That is a special coin." Because the guy had no idea that he was about to get his ass killed. It was a powerful scene. I fucking love that scene. That movie, like I said, some people, actual writer now who used to be a critic, he really hated the film because of the ending. I wouldn't go so far to say I hated the film because of the ending. But it really did take it from me recommending it to people. I couldn't recommend it to anybody. So I watched that.
Still gonna fucking watch it.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't kick yourself in the butt when you watch it. You're gonna be really pleasantly surprised. All I could say is the fucking ending with Tommy Lee Jones just fucking talking old man. It just, I know, that's not even spoiling it. It's just, the end is Tommy Lee Jones just talking old man stuff. And it kind of pisses me off. I'm just like, oh, fuck you. The other movie I watched was, what was it? Oh, I watched Alien for the first time. Never got around to watching Alien before. I have to say, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Have you seen Alien?
I have not.
Oh, you too are in that boat of, Nick, he says he hates it. He hates it.
Really?
Yeah, I know a lot of people who hate Alien. They were like, Aliens is the only good one. I'm like, I like Aliens. I actually have seen Aliens, and Aliens is great. I do have to say, I like Aliens more than Alien just because it's more of an action. But this one, there's way more horror in it. The only thing I have to say take away from Alien, because I know a lot about the Alien universe by now, that they're trying to keep this all in the realm of mystery. So I kind of already know what's happening, And it kind of took a little bit away from the movie. That's all I could say is because, I already knew, that there was, there's the alien, there's the face huggers, and maybe because I watched on Blu-ray, because I don't know, you heard the same rumor saying that apparently in the Alien, you don't see the alien till the end, right? That's always the rumor I remember being. Like, you don't actually ever see the alien, kind of like a Jaws thing, where it's picking off all these space people, all these space astronaut explorers. I don't really know what the fuck they are, but it's picking them all off, and you don't ever see the damn thing. But I don't know. The Blu-ray version, at least, I saw the alien many times. But I do have to say though, after seeing Prometheus in the beginning, I kind of get a little giddy. Because I'm like, I saw that in Prometheus. And I know it was supposed to be the other way around for people who have seen Alien and then see Prometheus, but, whatever. I had the other experience. And then the last movie I'm going to talk about is Arn, Templar Night. It's on Netflix. Meh.
Meh.
Yeah, it really is meh. I was, you see the screenshots, it's called Templar Night. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, Nick. I'm really into the whole Templar storyline thing. Like, just that period of history of, I like it when they show me two different aspects of it. I really liked Kingdom of Heaven, because Kingdom of Heaven does not glorify the Templars at all. Then you get such things such as, what was it? Ironclad, where they make Templars act like they're the most badass guys in history. I was like, you do know they lost and were slaughtered in Jerusalem. You do know this happened. This one is kind of like a weird, it starts out like not too bad, where you see this monk, and he was given to the monks as a kid, and then one of the monks used to be a Templar, and he trains him how to fight. But then it gets to this love story where this girl gets, she gets sent to the nuns because they had before marital relations, and this is back when the Catholic Church had its dick and everything. So they send her to be a nun, and the nuns, that's a fucked up storyline, because they're getting whipped if they talk at all, and it's shitty stuff. I'm just like, oh fuck. And then you see Arn, he goes off to be a Templar, and his storyline is pretty cool, because it's all how he kind of befriends the Muslims. He befriends them, and, because he saves their life, because he believes in honor and all this. But overall, it's just kind of, the battles are kind of just short and quick, and, while bloody, not really, when you compare that to like Braveheart or something, they're not too interesting. And they have like one final war scene that's supposed to be the most climactic scene of all. Meh. I've been using that a lot lately. I understand that, people, for when I just think something's just okay. But it's the best, it's just, in my opinion, the best way to describe it. Honestly, watching it for free on Netflix, I have to respect the film, because it does use 3 different languages you will watch that film in. Actually, 4. You'll see it, they speak in Swedish, French, English, and Muslim. Or, I guess, I don't really know what they speak in. I'm Arabic. So, I do hand it to the film with all the different languages, but it's still, it's okay of a film. It's too long for my taste of a kind of meh film as it is, so I don't know. Can't really recommend it. But what did you see, Nicky G?
Well, I guess for the first one, since we've been gone for a good 2 weeks, first one, I guess I'll just say, Catching Fire.
You've seen it now. What'd you think?
Yes. I liked it. Thought it was better than the first one. I know you didn't enjoy the first one. I did, but, I think we'll agree this was a pretty good one.
This is much superior, in my opinion, as well. Like, actually, since I really didn't like the first one, I think this is vastly superior. I was just like, fuck it. I mean, I have my review up on the site, people, if you're really curious about my entire thoughts, but you don't have a review up on the site, so what are your entire thoughts about this?
Loved it. I thought it was really just fucking freaky at certain parts. I mean, the fact that this shit, it's all amped up, too, for this one, because it's like the third, I forget what they call it. It's like every 25 years, an anniversary of the Hunger Games themselves, they, amp it up, and for this one, of course, everyone knows they bring in old victors, and goddamn it, it's not just, you just go out and kill each other, like, it kind of was in the first one, where at the end they started bringing people in, but besides that, they just brought in more crazy shit that they threw at everyone, and it's just like, no, fuck that. I would not survive. I know that for sure.
I would survive when I'm fighting against everyone who does not know how to fight. When a bunch of people are just like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. This one is a bunch of people who have a certain set of skills, and then they're forced to fight each other. Even though some of them are just dumb as hell. They're just like, what's their ability? Oh, they're able to camouflage themselves and just hide. I'm like, wait, what?
See, I wouldn't even be that smart. I'd be the dumbass that steps off the pedestal and get blown up.
I just like, so wait, how's this game played? Arrow through the neck. So where's my controller? Yeah, I have to say that even the hunger, like they added the whole elements thing in that movie, which actually made it way better than the first one too. Because the first one was like, this is just a bad version of like the Running Man or whatever. But this no one, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Mother Nature's more dangerous than the people. There was just gonna be, they somehow make this dome. I love how much futuristic shit they have, and then they have all these shanties. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is this? And I understand that's why everyone's starting to get that whole, because that movie's with the uprising. I'm just like, I understand why these people are like, what? Wait, fuck you, dude. You guys could make this dome that can create water and stuff and have, you guys are gorging yourselves, making yourselves throw up. We're starving here and working in mines. For what reason? No one really knows why they're even working in the mines, because clearly It's not like the high society people need anything from it.
Well, I mean, I haven't read the books, but I think it's just each district, that of course, they all have their certain stuff they do, and then because I know like all the districts previously were I think part of a revolution beforehand, but it was put down by the government.
Yeah,
So.
they do. They mention it in the movie, saying how they're trying to make sure the revolution stops before it starts, type thing. Kill the, cut off the head of the snake type mentality. But that's all and well done. But what else did you see this week?
But before I move on, I just love that one thing that how it should have ended, should have done.
Oh,
at the end of it, they're just like, so it's for the first, it's just for the Hunger Games. They're just like, so you don't want to use this technology to solve world hunger or something? No, rather just watch kids battle to the death. All right, just saying.
I was like, I think I remember that one where they like for the first Hunger Games, they're like, and District 9, and they're in the fucking mechs and shit. And I have to admit, every time they were talking about the district, so like from District 9, I was half expecting one of those aliens going. The
second film I watched, it was last night because I was flipping the TV and what came on was Batman Begins.
Ooh, nice.
And the thing was, it was only I ended up seeing only halfway through it at first. So that's when I was flipping through it. And I was like, you know what? No, Batman deserves better. So I got my Blu-ray, watched it.
No, Batman gets better.
You're damn straight he gets better, especially since I've been playing Arkham Origins. So, I've been in the mood for it and, just loving it. Love it, like McDonald's.
It's Batman. Dude, I fucking love it. I like all the dark. I have to say, I wasn't even a fan of Batman Begins when it first came out. I had some weird, I was that guy where I was just like, well, it's not, because I wasn't really into comics when the first one came out. I didn't really like, I didn't know dick about Batman. So I knew everything that, what's his face, Tim Burton showed us. I'm like, well, where's all the crazy characters? This one's really dark. I didn't really care for that. Who's this Ra's al Ghul type guy? Or Raish, as they keep calling him in the movie for some reason. Or no, they call him Raz in the movie and then Raish in the video games. Yeah. I don't even know how it's pronounced anymore. I was like, I don't know. I'm hearing... Jack, nowhere. Sorry, my dog's trying to get behind the TV. Come here. Anyways, I have no idea how it's pronounced, people. I need one of those English things where it's like, Raz, and they put 2 Z's at the end of it or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or Raish, and they have a SH. But anyways, yeah. Fucking love that movie. And I love it now. It's still weaker than both the other two, but, whatever.
The third thing I watched was kind of this, you could call it somewhat a movie. It was more of a television movie.
What?
And I'm not sure if you've paid attention lately to History Channel, but they're getting ready to do their whole Bonnie and Clyde thing that starts tonight. Yeah, and that's a funny thing. I kind of love because one thing I watched was Hatfields and McCoys.
Oh, how is that show? I've never really watched it.
It was really good. I remember watching it back when it was premiering, and loved the hell of it. Then I was watching on Netflix tonight, last night, stuff, and it was. It's like, I kind of forgot how good this was, and so I enjoyed it. But that's that's always kind of a funny thing is because if you watch History Channel, you kind of realize that when all this stuff kind of starts coming out, all these TV movies, all the other shows kind of have stuff to do with it.
Oh yeah.
So like if you see Pawn Stars, they'll generally bring the stuff up into the shows to kind of promote the actual TV movie itself. So I kind of laugh at that. So,
actually,
they're doing the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing now.
I dig how the History Channel went from just talking about Hitler for 24 hours a day to now they're showing like they had that Viking show, which was pretty damn good actually.
Oh yeah.
Viking show that was pretty damn good. They had the Bible miniseries, which, I never actually saw it, but I heard pretty good things about it. I never got around. I don't know. For some reason I just didn't want to watch it. I was just like, I don't really care about some of the stories you have to tell in the Bible. I already know. Spoiler, I already kind of know what happens to that Jesus guy. So yeah, I actually, the Western show I've been watching is Hell on Wheels, which is also on Netflix. Fucking love that. It is such a fan. I'm a big fan of Westerns, which I think you are as well. Yeah,
Yes,
so,
yes, I am.
fucking A. I like how Westerns kind of just went away from film, but they're like coming back in TV for some reason. And
Uh, New generation, man.
I kind of still want our generation of like, a new generation of Clint Eastwood type films where it's just, a badass talks like this and he's just, in the, cowboy it up.
Well, Clint Eastwood's son is actually starting an acting career.
Oh, is he?
So.
Well, I doubt he's gonna be.
Yeah,
He's just
I
gonna
know.
be Clint Eastwood Jr. now. Yeah, so we've been gone for about a week, so we did miss out on one thing that was in number 5 last week, getting into our top 5 of Homefront. Homefront is now number 6. I just want to give it an honorable mention. It was a movie I was gonna see Wednesday, but you know what happened Wednesday, right, Nick?
No, I do not.
And it snowed heavy. And I said, oh, fuck this shit. I'm not going to go see a movie. I'm sorry. It's snowing out now. No movie is worth that. But it's...
Snow, your arch
I know.
enemy in Colorado.
Snow, my arch movie enemy. It's just like, fuck you, dude. You're not going... You're going nowhere. I was completely wrong, though, I think. Because last week... what was it, that movie? It's completely... I can't even find it now. The Thanksgiving movie. I was fucking wrong about that. I can't even find it. I was like, I was thinking it was gonna do fine during last week, which was, Thanksgiving and all that. That would have been fine. No, I don't know where the hell it went. It just disappeared. It's not even on the top 15. It's just gone. So yeah, I don't know what happened to it, people. It's just gone. I was wrong. I thought Thanksgiving with all the kids having off, it was gonna shoot up, but no. Homefront started out pretty shitty. It made $3 million this weekend. Total gross of $15 million, which its budget of $22 million. I could say, it might break even with DVD sales, but so far.
I mean, what do you expect? It's Jason Statham doing what Jason Statham does, which is, just go around punching people in the face.
I was more curious with the whole, James Franco playing a weird redneck. I mean, that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose that movie out of well, actually, I wanted to see Oldboy, the American remake, but that had a limited release. So, I don't want to drive all the way down to the other theater because it's, that's like that's like a close to 20-minute drive for me. Just get to the other theater, which gets all basically the other theater that's the promenade for us. It gets all the releases, but that's too much of a drive for me, Nick. I just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna go up to the one that's like literally 5 minutes away from my house, if that. But...
Yeah, can't blame you.
But anyways, Homefront, I was gonna see it. It had redneck James Franco threatening Jason Statham's daughter for whatever reason. It seemed like a, decent, stupid action movie, but, that's what happens. What's really kind of upsetting, and because it went up it moved from number 6 to number 5 now in the top 5. Delivery Man. Yeah, the movie that me and Nick, both kind of said when we heard about it, like, it really had almost that 80s feel to it, in my opinion, Nick, where it's just kind of like, what happens if a guy accidentally donates too much sperm and gets 500 kids at the, overall, I guess. Somehow a dude's able to donate enough sperm to get 500 kids. And they say, well, a mix-up. I was like, what kind of mix-up is there? I don't really know how they donate the sperm. But to my knowledge, you fill a cup. Unless they just take a sperm from that cup, just one sperm. I really don't know how, And honestly, it's not like you fill the cup. It's just you
just do your business.
Do your business. It's not like, when you have to do the pee thing, you fill up the cup. No, I would not want to meet the dude that actually fills up the cup of sperm. I'd be like, dude, what are your balls just shriveled up to nothing now? Like, but anyway.
Especially guys that make a living off that.
I thought they had a limit on how much you can actually donate in a year.
They probably do.
To my knowledge, they do. But anyways, Delivery Man made basically $4 million this weekend. Total gross of $24 million. Still not quite there to the $26 million budget, but you know what? They're gonna make it. I mean, they got $2 million to go. They're still number 5 now because they had to move up. Fucking people. Seen Vince, I don't like Vince Vaughn movies very much. This one looks like one of his more heartfelt movies, I have to say, where he's trying to mature and stuff, but I honestly, that's kind of his stereotype, is him trying to mature. That's all his movies. If you really think about all his movies, it all turns out with him being like he's kind of an asshole, kind of a dickwad. Oh, now he needs to mature to be better. If you can name me one movie of his where he doesn't have to do that, you win.
I say Dodgeball, because he never really matured in that.
Great. Yeah, he was kind of a level-headed guy in that, as it is, because they had Ben Stiller playing the outlandish character. Actually, that Ben Stiller, the guy from Firefly, playing a modern-day pirate guy. Yeah, they had the old guy where, oh god, you mentioned Dodgeball, I can't tell you how much I hate that whole, if you could dodge this, oh my god. When that movie first came out, I wanted to punch people in the throat. I fucking hated that whole, it was like its own meme itself. It was just like, if you can dodge this, you can dodge the ball. You can dodge. I was like, oh god, if you can dodge my fist, you don't get punched.
It was the old, before the in the face.
Oh, that's when the Hangover came out.
Yep.
I hate young people, and I'm technically kind of thrown into the group of assholes too, because we're in that age group of the 20-year-olds to, basically it's like 12 to 25. You're in that asshole range where oh, it's the new comedy. I'm gonna quote it until the next one. Yeah. It's like, you buck-toothed idiot. Just get the fuck out of here. But number 4, what is it, Nicky G? What would be number 4?
Would it be Black Nativity or maybe Best Man's Holiday? No.
Black Nativity actually did nothing. It started out, last week it was number 9. Now it's number 14. It made $1 million last week, and it's not even close to its budget yet. Its total gross is $6 million, and its budget is 17. And as for Best Man's Holiday, yeah, it's done really well, but it's kind of crazy. It dropped 4 places. Last week it was number 4. Now it's number 8. No, it's actually Thor, the God of Thunder. Thor, the Dark World. It made $4 million.
Hey, it's still in there.
It's going to be in there until, honestly, December 13th. When December 13th comes around.
Yeah.
That's when everything's just going to be like, oh, you thought you were good? BAM! But anyways, Thor Dark World made $4 million, basically almost $5 million. You know what? I said it, Nick. Its budget of $170 million, but its total gross $193 million. It beat out its total gross. It's all profit, baby. It finally did it. It stayed in the top 5 long enough to make its money back, and now it's just, everything here on out, it's just profit. Marvel, Disney, even fucking Chris Hemsworth. Your guys are all just rolling in money. And especially Disney. They're doing that Scrooge McDuck bullshit now, where they just jump in the vat of coins. Now, I was talking to Nick about this. I asked him where it ranks in his, of the Marvel, let me put it this way, Avengers Marvel movies that have come out. He said on his, it wasn't at the top, but it was about maybe it was close to number 3 for him. It was pretty high up there for him. Me, I said it was out of all those movies, which none of them are bad, it was probably going to end up being number 4 or 5 for me. Where would this rank on yours?
I have not seen it, so I can't really say.
I could have swore you said you saw that.
No, because I remember, I remember I said, I missed it.
Yeah.
Look, it was one of those things where, I was kind of too tired to go at that point. I didn't painting all day, so I was just kind of fuck it.
Yeah, you got to the fucking stage. Okay, I've been there before, because, that's one thing I like about the, DVD releases, which I actually forgot to mention this week, which I still have to write my review for it, the Wolverine. I'll just watch that, but I already did a review for it, so people just read my review. It's one of the read ones. But anyways, number 3 is a new movie. Came out this week. What is it?
Man. I do not know.
Out of the Furnace. That one, what was the hell that movie? I'm trying to remember what the hell.
Christian Bale.
And I'm trying to remember what the hell it was about, though. It was a Christian Bale movie. I'm gonna go see it. I know that. I'm gonna see it probably Wednesday. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, people, being that I kind of get busy Fridays just trying to deal with site shit and recording, all that crap. I kind of don't see movies too often on Fridays, but, this Wednesday I have nothing going on, so I'm probably gonna go see Out of the Furnace. Just see what the deal is with that movie. And I like seeing it also on during the midweek for one reason too, Nick. Ain't nobody gonna be in that theater. I mean, I might get a couple of the old people there, but fucking A. Friday, sometimes on Fridays I'll get like when I went to go see Catching Fire on Friday in the morning, I was at 9 o'clock showing. Theater was full of people. I was like, fucking A, don't you people work in the morning? I don't work on Fridays, so what the fuck, people? But yeah, I'm gonna go see Out of the Furnace, so we will have my review up probably actually Wednesday. I'll try to keep it pretty, yeah, so I'll talk about that later. But number 2 is what?
I know there's going to be maybe 2 that's going to be in the top 2.
Yeah, what is number 2?
I'm going to say Frozen.
Wrong.
Yeah, man.
Yes, number 2 has been knocked off its high horse, knocked off its almighty of kings, shit a fuck mountain, The Hunger Games. This weekend alone, it made 27 million flat somehow. Yeah, they didn't get a bunch of, whatever. But good God, this movie kicked the shit out of Thor. So, its total budget is 130 million. Its total gross is 336 million. Jesus Christ, Hunger Games. This is the new Harry Potter. This is the new Harry Potter. This is making gangbusters. And you know what they're doing with the last movie? Or the last book? Yeah,
two-parter?
They're doing two-parter with the last book. I looked on IMDb and they're like, yep, it's a two-parter. And all I could say is, please, for the love of God, because they did change directors from their first film, and I think that was the best thing they could have done.
That's Francis Lawrence. No relation to Jennifer Lawrence.
Boy, is he. Jennifer Lawrence, she's gorgeous. I have to say, she is a gorgeous girl. And then the only thing I have to say is, God damn this. This movie is great. So it's all, I did not agree with the hype with the first movie, but I say the hype with this movie, yes. Yes. I mean, we've already talked about this for the most part, but yeah, it's worth all that money. And number 1 is no surprise at all. What is it, Nicky G? Give you the honor.
Frozen.
Yes, Frozen. You say so quickly, I almost missed it for Frozen.
Well, that was the thing, because I thought, because Frozen, I believe, came out before Hunger Games, so I thought it would be at least knocked out by now. Or not knocked out, but
Frozen came out the same time as Homefront. Yeah,
okay.
So Frozen, or maybe I'm wrong. No, you're right. It did come out the same. Yeah, it's week number 3. Okay, no, I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, it came out the same time as Hunger Games. It just they're advertising the shit out of it right now, and they're also, it's getting towards winter, getting close to Christmas. Only kid movie out right now because that Thanksgiving one, did that tank? I mean, that was pathetic. Holy shit, that was that sad. I almost felt sorry for him. But yeah, Frozen, I heard good things about this. I heard it took it back to the original Disney format. This is not a Pixar Disney either. This is, just Disney. And yeah, so it made 31 million this week. And its total gross of 134 million, total budget 150 million. It's definitely going to make its money back. Yeah, no question about it. Which is funny, actually, you are right, because last week it was number 2, because I forgot we skipped a week. Last week it was number 2, but it bumped up to number 1 for some reason, Guess people wanted to see this. Like, everyone saw Hunger Games, so they're like, well, what else is out? Oh, that fun.
Well, tis the time of season.
Oh, yeah. It's like this and, Christmas, or not this time of year and summer is just when movies are just kind of, even though it's kind of a dead year for this, for usually it's just a dead year right now. I mean, the biggest movie we're having coming out is The Hobbit this week. And goddamn, you can't feel my nipples right now, but Jesus Christ, are they hard. They could cut glass right now.
I wonder if Frozen's gonna keep its throne. I mean, I hope not.
I can't really see it doing it, dude. With as many Lord of the Rings nerds out there that there is, that series is huge. That also, in my
us being 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, us being two of them. I honestly think when Lord of the Rings came out, that was, in my opinion, that was my Harry Potter. Cause those were they were both coming out at the same times. That was my Harry Potter. I was just like, fucking A, Lord of the Rings all the way. But,
Preach it,
yeah,
brother.
dude, I could still, those will be timeless classics for me. That's my Star Wars for fuck's sakes. But anyways, let's move on to our trailer of the week. Our trailer, for those of you living under a fucking rock off the internet, it's Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it's official, folks. They're doing a Sinister Six. They already got in the trailer alone. Let me just set up the whole thing. In the trailer, I don't really know what the plot is of this. Do you have any idea what the plot is from the trailer? Did they kind of describe it at all?
It seems like Harry Osborn befriends Peter, but it looks like that Harry's kind of taking tips from his father, which, I don't know, it seems like he's going to be kind of an asshole, so.
I wonder why Harry Osborn's father would be kind of an asshole.
Well, the other thing too is because it kind of goes back into that whole mystery of what happened to Peter's parents and what pretty much it kind of actually says in the trailer. So I just want to make sure I'm not spoiling anything. But he's just saying that that the Osborn nation was making stuff that could harm people or harm the world, be bad for the world.
They have their own nefarious deeds going up. Which, I don't know how you feel about this, how the new Amazing Spider-Man apparently has gone, it's all about the Oscorp. Like even the first one, whole Lizard was made because of Oscorp and stuff. The doctor worked at Oscorp and all that. And then this one, all the villains they have, real quick list. They have Electro, which everyone knew about Electro. Then they have the Rhino. And then they have the newest one, Green Goblin. The Green Goblin is here, which already confirms that, this is probably going to be the death of Gwen Stacy.
Yes. And I can't remember, but I believe if you watch the trailer, you'll see Vulture's
you do.
Suit in the
You
background.
do see Vulture's wings in the background. And that leads us to 5 villains. Does it not? Wait, we got, you got the Rhino, you got Electro, you got Green Goblin, you got Vulture. We need 2 more villains. I'm trying to remember who, well, they had Doc Ock on the Sinister Six and the Chameleon, and then actually, honestly, the Sinister Six had they had a bunch. But, anyways, I'm digging it. And, from what I seen in the trailer, I really think this is gonna be Electro-centric, though, in my opinion. Like, he's gonna fight Rhino and he's gonna fight Green Goblin, but he's not gonna defeat either of those two, in my opinion. I think this one's gonna be mainly him versus Jamie Foxx as, Electro, and then he's gonna defeat Electro, and then they're gonna maybe introduce another villain in the next movie or something. I really think they're gonna keep Green Goblin, though, definitely, and make him kind of like a 2-part villain for the next movies or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems so weird. I remember the guy playing Harry Osborn was in what was that movie? Chronicles?
He was in Chronicle, and he's becoming a bigger star. I saw him in a movie recently, and I can't put my finger on what movie I saw him in recently, but he was in a pretty big movie recently. And just a side character, like he's in this one. And honestly, this movie, they already kind of showed this is the fall of Harry Osborn as well. So it's kind of like he befriends, Peter out of nefarious deeds. Actually, Nick has a prediction saying Harry Osborn probably is going to be the Green Goblin we see in this movie. That, that Norman's not even going to be Green Goblin. And I say that's a pretty good prediction how they're showing Harry. But do you think we'll see the Vulture?
Maybe. I think maybe towards the end, because I think you're right with the Electro, because you got a big name actor like Jamie Foxx.
Well, they got Paul
even Rhino
being Rhino,
which
I didn't see. They don't really show the Rhino too much. They show Electro. They kind of just show a glimpse of Rhino and a glimpse of Green Goblin. So those two are still mystery on how they're going to look. To my knowledge, granted, I haven't been looking for the screenshots of them. But I'm really excited. I'm really hoping they don't pull a Spider-Man 3. Because Spider-Man 3 also had 3 villains, and they totally dicked it over and ended up shafting one of the villains. And it really makes me wonder how they're going to make this work with 3 villains, with giving them all equal limelight.
Yeah. Oh, and that was the problem with Spider-Man 3 because, Studio wanted Venom to be in it because,
Oh yeah,
that's what they want, say the fans wanted.
yeah.
So, kind of,
Sam Raimi wanted to do purely just Sandman,
yeah.
and I guess also the other Green Goblin because he already had that going on during that time, anyways. But yeah, he was just going to have it be those two versus Spider-Man, which honestly was already upping the ante from the first Spider-Man or the second Spider-Man. But yeah, I'm going to be really curious on how they have all three of these villains into one. So far, all right, that's our trailer. Are you excited? Basically, are you going to see this in theaters? That's the question I need to ask you.
I don't know. I didn't really see the first one in theaters. When I saw it, I was just like, meh. It was more or less for
Oh,
me.
really?
I didn't think it was better or worse. But,
See, I did see the first one in theaters, and I walked out of that going, yes! Fuck you, Tobey Maguire. I ripped up my picture of Tobey Maguire and nope, Andrew Garfield now. That's who it is. I like Spider-Man a lot. I think he's a great character, and I actually think that even though people apparently had their problems with Andrew Garfield saying he cried a lot in that movie, I was like, he never got the Tobey Maguire face where it gets all scrunched up and weird, and he's, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Tobey fan. I'm not. I like Andrew Garfield. He brings more of a comedic value to the Spider-Man, which Spider-Man is. Less mopey.
yeah.
So I was really digging the new Spider-Man. I was digging the fact they put Gwen Stacy. And I'm also, with the first movie at least, I like the Lizard a lot. I like the Lizard with his double face type thing where he kind of has the werewolf syndrome. That's exactly what he is. In a sense of the word. He's just a werewolf monster, but a lizard.
I think my biggest problem with the first one was probably the mask coming off too much.
Well, they do that with all of them, honestly. The only time I didn't see his mask come off was in the first movie where it just gets destroyed on his face, but he still kind of leaves it. I don't know. For the most part, the only superhero, Nick, I have not seen remove his mask when he's fighting was Batman.
That's because Batman is
Because
Batman.
he's fucking badass, and Christian Bale doesn't need to say, I need more, face time. He's like, no, it's fucking Batman. So, yeah. Anyways, that's our trailer of the week. Check it out. If you have not seen it, it's an excellent done trailer. It got me actually excited for Spider-Man 2, because for a while there I was just kind of meh. When's it coming out? Is it 2014 that movie's coming out?
I believe so.
I'd hope they wouldn't throw that into 2015 bullshit, because everything seems to be going out. All I know that's coming out even in 2014 is Noah, on, what was that? Captain America and Spider-Man 2. That's all I know. I don't even know what else is coming out 2014. But anyways, it's time for some news. Hey, evening in the movie news. Now I have correspondent Nicky G with me. What do you have, Nicky G?
Well, for the first one, I know you ain't gonna give a shit, so I'll just say it. World of Warcraft is getting moved back to 2016.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, it is kind of smart move because what they're moving away essentially because Star Wars is coming out of course in 2015,
And Avengers 2, and
December
Magnificent
18th,
Steel
2015. Yeah. So I think it's kind of smart because I mean, if you're going to compare two epics, people are going to go to Star Wars, obviously. So I mean,
yeah.
So I think it's a smart move on there.
Especially since no one knows how this movie's going to pan out.
Yes.
Is it going to? I mean, with all this, it's getting a lot of limelight for a video game movie. I have to say. I mean, I understand it's a big series, people, but it's a video game movie. No one can name me one good one. Actually good, not one that was, it's stupid fun. No, good. No one can name me one. So I'm just kind of like, I'm skeptical Brandon here and saying that, I don't know. Yeah, been moved back. I agree it is smart though on their part because it would just get destroyed by Star Wars. People are going to see Star Wars 6 times in theaters. It doesn't matter. But anyways, what else you got?
Well, also just for the casting news of the movie, it's been announced you're going to have Ben Foster, which, if you remember him from 3:10 to Yuma, he's also going to be in the, that new movie kind of with, Mark Wahlberg and the soldiers.
That one.
Lone Survivor.
Which I don't know when that's coming out. It's not this week because that'd be stupid as hell trying to go up against The Hobbit. So I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Now they also have Dominic Cooper coming out, Devil's Double and Captain
Oh
America
God,
played.
I forgot about his ass. So they're getting some good actors there. You know, Ben Foster, I like him a lot. He's made some mad movies, Punisher. But you know, Dominic Cooper, you know, with The Devil's Double, that was one of my favorite films I watched from 2011. It was fucking fantastic. So those two are both casted so far in it.
Yeah, those are for sure cast. I know there's been rumors of Colin Farrell and some other people, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I don't really hate. Well, I don't hate. It's weird. I don't think about Colin Farrell. It's like,
Yeah, he's
more or less.
he's had movies that I was like, yeah, like Horrible Bosses. Him in Horrible Bosses, he was the best thing in it. He was just so damn funny. He was just he had anytime he was on the screen, I was laughing, which was sad because there wasn't much that he was on the screen. All right, what else you got?
All right, well, Disney's about to control the world even more because they just got control of the Indiana Jones rights from Paramount.
Well, Disney, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna change movie prices eventually? You'll be like, you know, I mean, thank God Peter Jackson's not gonna let go of his Lord of the Rings. That's all I can say is, I mean, good God, what's next? Are they gonna get Hunger Games too before the last two movies? Like, fucking A. What are they gonna do with, the Indiana Jones? Cause that's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of dead now. I mean, Harrison Ford, I'm sorry, you're too old to be Indy anymore. So.
That's true.
I mean, the fourth one was a stretch. I mean, I'll give the fourth one, it still had that fun action movie. It was still a fun action movie. I may not like Shia LaBeouf, like, at all, but it was still fun. It was still had that feel to it, you know? But it still was not my cup of tea, you know? I didn't nerd rage over it. I don't know. Did you nerd rage over the fourth one?
No, I did not. It was funny because I was, you know, like, I was so hyped for it. I went in, I saw the movie. I don't know, nowadays I feel like I kind of walked out with a weird feeling about it. Like, I didn't walk out saying, fuck yeah, like I would have with the other movies. But, you know, it was weird. Like, I was like, that was alright. I was really expecting a lot more, but, you know, whatever.
I actually walked out of that movie, the fourth one, with the fuck yeah mentality. And then just over the years it's been out, I just kind of realized, okay, I understand people's complaints with it. I do. But, you like even the prequel Star Wars, I like them. That's all there is to it. I like them. I understand people's problems with them. I'll even dog on them a couple. Like the prequel Star Wars, I'll dog on them. I still watch them and enjoy them. Doesn't matter. But anyways, what are they doing with the new Indiana Jones? Do they say?
They don't really say. They just say that, you know,
they own it,
getting the rights, and I mean that's like I thought. I know they had like the Indiana Jones stuff at Disneyland or whatever, Disney World Land.
Do
you
they
know,
already have that shit?
I thought they did because I remember hearing this one guy talk about when he worked there. So,
you know, it's kind of funny. All right, speaking of Disney, you've seen that commercial where that dude just puts on like a welder's mask and says, "Children, I am your father," and he starts swinging around a light.
I have not.
Okay,
seen
so
this.
there's a commercial out there where some dude just does that to his kids, and he ends up hitting something. They're like, everyone has a little Disney in them. I was like, oh, go fuck yourself, Disney. You didn't make Star Wars. You merely bought Star Wars. You have no right to Star Wars. No one thinks Star Wars and thinks Disney. No one. I don't care if you own it. I don't think Disney. I'm like, oh, people will still say George Lucas is Star Wars over Disney. I'm sorry, Disney. Go fuck yourself. Just because you own it now doesn't mean it's yours. God, that'd be like me buying me buying Star Wars and saying like, well, everyone likes Brandon. I own Star Wars. Like, go fuck. I'm sorry. It really kind of pissed me off. It really hit a strange place because I'm a Star Wars nerd, and honestly, Disney's level, like the stuff they make, which is a lot of their like most of their like the pirate movies, the Lone Ranger, all those movies. I think they're good. I just don't have a love for them, like, you know, I do for Star Wars. So, you know, you should have showed Captain Jack Sparrow some shit and be like, yeah, okay, that's Disney. Don't you take my...
I hope the movies are good. I mean, they own part of Marvel. They own some Marvel Studios, so, you know.
Yep.
They did great at the Avengers, and...
You know, they never...
I'd say most of the movies, but...
Even when I think of Marvel, I don't think of Disney, you know.
That's true.
Marvel's the one calling the shots with the movies. Disney's the only one that they just write a check. That's all they do. That's all Disney does is just write the check and say, and I don't even know, and Marvel has their dick in every studio anyways, because they're just like, yeah, Fox, Sony, come on, who else? Who else is some of this? And then, Disney's buying up every third party character they can get their hands on. They're just like Ant-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, which I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan. But anyways, what else you got for me?
We're kind of leading into Bryan Singer announces that X-Men Apocalypse may be coming in 2016.
X-Men Apocalypse. Okay, I'm not really familiar with X-Men Apocalypse. What is that storyline? Do you know?
I cannot remember. I mean, it's one of those things where I remember watching it on X-Men. What was it? Evolution. It was like some of the very last ones when Apocalypse, who's a villain, comes in and such, and he kind of takes over the world.
Okay, so it's the Apocalypse. Okay. Alright, see, I didn't know if that was the storyline, kind of what Days of Future Past is, if it was just going to be a continuation of it. Because for people who don't know about about some of, because I know somewhat of the X-Men stuff, but to my knowledge, there is the future part, and that's the whole reason why they got to try to stop the Sentinels, where the Sentinels basically have wiped out both humans and mutants, are kind of running things, and then there's, a ragtag bit of mutants with Cable and all that, and, Cable and all them, he's the only one I can think of, taking on the Sentinels.
Where's Deadpool?
And Deadpool and Wolverine and anyone else who has the healing factor, because they don't grow old really. But, they have that whole storyline in there, which honestly, when you really think about it, with how many superheroes are in the Marvel Universe, that should never happen. Sentinels, I'm like, yeah, Doctor Strange could just make those Sentinels into nothing, okay? And then you got, fucking the X-Men, which would be able to fight them off, and then you got the, Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, do I have to keep naming off names? Iron Man, the Sentinels would not be able to ruin the world. But anyways, that's my own thing that's my own thing where they kind of get fucked up where they share a universe sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially with New York, with the X-Men and Spider-Man and, Avengers all in New York.
Do you guys not run into each other or something?
How do you guys not run into each other? How do you guys, how is Iron Man not flying around and be like, oh, there's Doc Ock, and it just kicks his ass, and then, Spider-Man's like, hey, man! Like, hey, you took too long. But anyways, yeah. God damn, what were we talking about?
Apocalypse.
Yeah. I like Apocalypse, dude. He's kind of, Apocalypse reminds me a lot of, though? Darkseid. Him and Darkseid are really similar in my opinion. Just the way they look too. But yeah, I did see a couple things with Apocalypse. I think he's a badass villain. Usually, if they do Apocalypse story, they're probably gonna have to do the same thing where, Magneto and Magneto's Brotherhood and the X-Men have to team up to take him out because there's no way otherwise. Because that's the only way I've seen anyone taking down an Apocalypse. Anyways, what else you got for me? One last one. One last little topper.
CBS Films and the Saw writers are possibly gonna do some. If you remember these books, I remember these books kind of very good from my childhood. But scary stories to tell in the dark.
I don't. I was the Goosebumps. I didn't do the scary stories ones. I've heard about them, but never did. What are those about? Cause Goosebumps was always Goosebumps was almost a derivative of Twilight Zone. Where it was just kind of like, oh, now you're a grilled cheese sandwich, type of thing, I don't know. What was Scary Stories like?
It's kind of hard to remember, but, I think they were a little bit more gruesome because I was also into Goosebumps as well. But, they're kind of more gruesome and messed up. I mean, even if you remember the art from it, there's that big, debacle back a couple months ago where they changed the art to make it less scary for kids, which everyone who remembered those books was kind of like, that's kind of bullshit, which I'm in the same boat. I just think it's
bullshit.
Kind of fucked up, but to do that, cause that's what I think they made it so much scarier, but I just remember it's just kind of gruesome, a little bit more gruesome than Goosebumps. It wasn't so, I guess you could say it wasn't so kid friendly, but at the same time it was still greatly entertaining for me as a child.
You know what gets me? When you say the Saw writers, I'm like, ugh. I don't know. Those guys, I don't really know what else they've done, but, if they're going with Saw alone, it's not a really good track record in my opinion. Anyways, I'll be interested to see how that goes. We've been kind of having a lack of scary movies come out of late. Last couple of years, we just been having like 1 or 2, maybe 3.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, this year, I'm trying to remember how many we had.
Just
Evil Dead.
The Conjuring.
Evil Dead, Conjuring, and I can't think of anything else. Because Sinister was last year, so it wasn't Sinister. Evil Dead, Conjuring, and maybe some other movie that was really small compared to those two. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, we're having kind of a lackluster year for horror. For horror fans, it's kind of meh. They're not really having that great of a, horror movies come. I mean, well, Evil Dead and Conjuring were both great, but that's beside the point. The ones that are coming out are good, but, just not enough of them, I guess. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens. But anyways, enough of our ramblings of random shit. That is it, everybody. If you would like to comment about anything we've talked about just anything at all. I don't care. Go to either email us at bloodyscreenpodcast@gmail.com or just put it in the comment section. I'll end up seeing it eventually. Or go to our forums, which everyone hates doing for some reason. And, fuck around there. Because that's actually the best way to get to us is the forums, because I'm notified way quicker with the forums than I am anything else. But it's it's your thing. Whatever. That is it, everybody. Any last words you want to say there, Nicky G?
Good night, everyone.
Right.